Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your mid-November sort of short updated reading. So I already posted the bigger, longer readings for the month. So you get two Lenormands. Oh, I actually only pulled one to begin with, but I wanted more clarity. You get the bridge. So the bridge is a bit going from one place to another. It tends to represent some sort of opening up, some sort of opportunity for you, and it's clarified with the key. Now I absolutely adore this card, and it's very interesting. Most people have pulled it retrograde, backwards, and it's almost like a lot of people's freedom feels curtailed. They haven't got the freedom to move, but yours is upright. So this, and not everyone loves the key, because a lot of people like the security of the bird's nest cage. Okay, so there might be some opportunity here, Capricorn, to break out of something. Yeah, I pulled the key a few months ago when I walked away from a job and a set of circumstances that were just destroying me. Okay, thought that I was over exaggerating, but I really wasn't, and an opportunity came and I walked through the door to freedom. Okay, so there's something to do with some sort of opportunity here. Again, some people prefer the freedom of the cage. There's no judgment there. Everyone's different. It's all about where our moon lies, by the way, the house and the sign of our moon. That's where we like our security to be contained. But there's some sort of freedom here, some sort of opportunity. Two very, very beautiful cards to show up together. You might be feeling it as Saturn leaves your sign as well. It's the last month, so make it count, because it won't happen again for 30 years. So try and make the last few weeks of this transit count. What have you learnt? What have you learnt that will serve as your wisdom for the next 30 years, by the way? So make sure it counts. Dig deep with the lessons over the last 2 years, so they become your lighthouse for the future. So it's quite scary to escape the cage, and you think it wasn't, but it can be. Anyhow, let's find out what's going on for the sign of Capricorn. I know quite a lot of you, I know there's been a lot of job losses. Some of you have had bereavements as well. So it hasn't been the easiest transition. So can I just shuffle one more time? Because everyone keeps getting the same cards. And it's like, I mean, it's quite good that people are getting the same cards, because it's like, okay, is every single person going through the same thing? But I want to make sure you get a proper shuffle. So the tower's behind you. Don't be frightened of the tower. I will clarify it. It tends to be Aquarius and Uranus. Can be some sort of breakthrough that's happened. Yeah, I will clarify it. A lot of people don't like the tower because it might, you know, I guess most of you know the UK has gone into lockdown again, and it was definitely a tower moment that brought it, and a little bit like, okay, it's been a shift. But the tower is also about the truth. It breaks through the confines of feeling stuck. So it breaks through the Devil card. The gift is the Knight of Wands. Like these two cards together. The challenge is a Death card. Some sort of change going on. Other people's energies, a Nine of Wands. So you've got two knights. So the Knights bring change. The Knights take you from one phase to another. The Kings don't tend to bring change, by the way. It tends to be the Knights or even the Pages. But this is 2 Knights that are coming, that are bringing some sort of change, which is really interesting because the challenge is change. So there's some change for you. And I guess that's what I meant with the bird. Some people love change and some people don't. Yeah, there's definitely change. 2 Knights coming your way. This is an energy coming towards you. And the Knight of Cups especially tends to bring some sort of good news. And the Knight of Wands as well. Both Knights do. Can you tell me what connects these 2 cards, about what sort of news these cards are, these Knights are bringing? So they're bringing the news of the Fool card, which is some sort of change, some sort of new beginning. And look, it's right between the Tower and the Death card. So there's some sort of new path here. And the Fool is escaping the cage. And the Tower breaks through the Devil card. So there's some sort of, there's almost some sort of liberation from the past going on. And I'm very, very careful of the words that I use because I'm an Aquarius and I love freedom. Yeah, that's it. It's just what I love. And not everyone does. But this is messages coming about a new pathway. The Fool is the start codon, so it carries a new story of a new life path unfolding for you. The challenge of the Death card is probably letting go of the past. So the Death card is a snake. It's about shredding the old identity, shredding the old skin. Sometimes it's even about letting go of opportunities that you thought were perfect, but actually they weren't perfect. Relationships that you thought were, well, that'd be the perfect person for me. And actually, in reality, they weren't the perfect person for you. So the Death card is about letting go of an old identity in order to escape the cage and move into this beautiful energy. Because this is about freedom from something. And quite often what happens if we're scared of freedom, it tends to be because there's a lot of survival issues going on. I think it's going on at a global level. So it's like, oh my gosh, will I be okay? Will I be able to survive? Tell me what the Tower's doing, please. Because this is really... There's a Tower here, okay? It's with Temperance. And the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands tends to bring some sort of very, very, very fast movement. Because Temperance is here, there is a lot of... It's almost like for a lot of yous, Capricorn, there is quite a lot of balance here. Temperance just comes after the Death card. So it's almost like quite a lot of yous have gone through some really, really big upheaval, by the way. So there might be a sense of vulnerability as you walk into this new pathway. But I guarantee you, you're walking into a new pathway. And tell me why the Death is a challenge. I'm assuming it's about letting go of some, yeah, it's with the 8 of Cups. So having to walk away from something that once was. And I know because a couple of you have commented that you went through a bereavement. So there might be a process here that you're still in of letting go. I lost my mum last year. I really, really understand. And it is a process of grief. But sometimes grief is about letting go of, it can be about old identities, especially if those identities were built on not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough. Because this is such beautiful new energy coming your way. These Knights are bringing news of a new life path unfolding for you. The Nine of Wands is other people's energy. Not my favourite card. It's not bad. You're not dealing with the end of the world, but other people's energy is quite defensive. They're holding on to. So if you look at the Eight of Wands, this is someone very, very protective of the past. Yeah, so very much, this is the way it's got to be. It's the way that it's always been. That's the sort of energy of the Nine of Wands. You might be dealing with someone who's not giving in, very, very determined to have their own way. And the challenge is maybe walking away from that past so you can enter into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful new center column. The Fool carries no karma. And, you know, I don't know if there's such a thing. You know, there probably is a few people in this world who have got rid of all their reactions and responses. There's not many of them now. But the Fool is a possibility to walk down a brand new pathway. And that's always about letting go of what was. You know, shredding that old identity, what once made you happy, or what you once thought made you happy, and being able to enter into this energy. And the outcome's the Magician. So look, you get the Fool and the Magician. So after the Fool, after the doorway opens, this freedom beckons, you have all these aces to begin your journey. And you want to begin this brand new journey with the Fool and the Magician, because it's almost like it's a whole restart. And I guess when I'm talking about a reading like that, I have got the intelligence to know that there's been a breakdown before the breakthrough. So obviously some of you have been dealing with pretty much quite intense circumstances, but look what's emerging. And you know what, I am not one of these, most of you that know me know that I am not a new age, you know, I really, really believe in feeling and owning everything. But see, sometimes when the world's breaking down around us, we have to put our energy into what's been born and what's been created, and we need to follow it. We need to follow the thread about what wants to be born here, what wants to be, what's trying to be initiated, because you've got one beautiful initiation going on here. Anything after the Magician, because he's just about, again, he's walking down this brand new pathway. With the energy of the Fool, it's almost like I'm off, the doors have opened and I'm off. Anything more about the Magician? The Three of Cups, which is that the Three of Cups is a release from the Ten of Wands. That feeling that you're carrying around all the burdens of the past, and you're taking them into every single set of circumstances, and then we wonder why. Oh, why is it not working again? Because we've not shred the past. And then by the time we get to the Three of Cups, there's an energy of flying free. You know, Capricorn, I have to say, I think you've got the most stunning reading. I can read between the lines to understand there's probably been a little bit of a collapse going on here, some sort of bereavement, some sort of loss of what once was. And people don't like that phase, and that's why they don't get the new beginning. That's what I mean. Some people prefer the cage rather than the key. You know, because I have Capricorn ascendant, and I just love this reading. I think I'm going to claim it as mine. I just love it because it's just this, it's all about possibilities and a new doorway opening. And Capricorn, don't take the stories of the past with you. Grieve them, bury them, and say goodbye. Water under the bridge and say yes to what's coming. That reading made my day. So much love, guys. Bye.